did my legs a favor. I switched to Shower Shaver by Persona, the razor specially designed for the shower. It has a non-slip handle for shaving with wet, soapy hands. And the pivoting head shaves close and smooth.
I did my legs a favor. I switched to Shower Shaver. It has push-button cleaning because it's hard to clean a razor in the shower. I did my legs a favor. I switched to Shower Shaver. It's even got a handy shower holder.
For beautiful legs, do your legs a favor. Switch to the disposable shower shaver by Persona.
So hair. We all have it on our heads, but also in other places. Or do we? Ever since the 20th century, body hair on women has begun to seem unclean. I mean, there was a history of this in the Roman Empire and Egypt, but it really wasn't that way for the rest of the world. Gillette in 1915 launched a campaign pushing how shaving would promote hygiene and beauty in women, but didn't promote the same in men. If it was really meant for hygiene, wouldn't they want to promote shaving for men as well? In ancient Egypt, it was expected that both sexes shave, for both hygiene and beauty standards of the time. Given it's hot in Egypt, so having that much sweat getting caught in your hair was probably not a fun smell, using pumice stone along with other materials for hair removal. While in Rome, only prostitutes would shave, as to be told apart from the more socially respectable women. It was seen to be lowering yourself, possibly a sign of immaturity, as children have no hair and they hold no power. In September of 2016, the YouTube channel Glamour posted a video about how men feel about body hair, around a month after their video with women. In the men's video, you can see a clear want for a woman to be completely shaven, some even stating that the hair on women looks unclean or that they want their woman completely hairless. Well, for themselves, keeping mostly everything the same, even going as far as to add chest hair to the mannequin. The women's video, on the other hand, had a bit more variation, with some women having the same outcome as men though, but there were a few that said trimming was what they preferred and largely kept the men within the same standard they kept themselves to.
Natural as anything else. The worst thing you could say to somebody is you should take care of that.
I think it takes a very courageous woman to expose her hair because she will get shamed.
Hair is seen as dirty and is often traced back to racism in the 20th century to make a line between women of color and white women. Hair evolved for hygiene and protection, though, to protect us from dust, the elements, and infection, both STI and wound-wise. There's a clear difference between trimming and keeping yourself manageable. And then there's the pressure to get rid of the evolutionary protection. Some theories have been put forward as to why, but a lot of them ignore the biases of men and how they aren't expected to shave. I mean, they're usually told to do the opposite and keep a lot of their body hair. And from what I've read and observed, it's probably because hair holds power. In 2021, Lygia Azevedo published a research paper discussing how body hair seems to be the only secondary sex characteristic that people seem to be disgusted by and that they want to get rid of. Secondary sex characteristics are usually seen as attractive, like either visible breasts or hips. From a biological standpoint, wouldn't men want their female partners to possess more mature characteristics rather than those characteristics held by prepubescent girls? In that same paper, the infantilization of women is brought up a multitude of times, from pop culture and the gradual increase in the appeal to look younger to seem attractive. I mean, look at the romanticization of pedophilia in the 1997 rendition of Lolita, where the main character justifies falling in love and having his stepdaughter be his object of desire. She was 12. Or with Britney Spears' Baby One More Time, where if you've ever listened to the song or watched the music video, you would assume that she would be at the very least 18, but not only was she wearing a childish style of pigtails and a schoolgirl uniform that's been made to look like lingerie, but she was 16. When taking pure personal preference for shaving out of the equation, it all comes down to the symbol of power. If you don't want to seem unclean and unworthy of a husband, get rid of your body hair, lest you be called a lesbian. Rooted in homophobia, racism, and misogyny, the practice of hair removal has been changed from a choice to a necessity. Straight women, queer women, gay men, and those who have been assigned female at birth all struggle against this tide, especially when in the context that someone in a relationship has to be more dominant than the other. See Butches and Bears taking on that heteronormative role in media and assumptions. I've taken the time to interview some of my peers and even my mother to get a decently ranged view of their opinions, once again following the basis of getting queer and non-gender conforming views, all on different levels of that scale. Get rid of your hair, trim it. I want to know what these people think and what their outlook is on if other people should shave or trim their hair too. What is your relationship with your body hair?
I don't really have one.
Does that mean you don't have hair? Do you not grow it?
I do grow. It grows naturally like grass.
So you do have a relationship with your body hair. What do you do with it?
Okay, if we're calling that a relationship, what do I do with it? Depends on where it is. At this point in time in my life, at this age, if it's on, like, my face, I wax it.
And why do you wax it?
Or pluck eyebrows.
And why do you wax it?
Because it's better.
Why do you feel that it's better?
Because it's like itchy or tickly, and then it's like there's like one little spot that might be black, and I don't like it, so I get rid of it, just like my eyebrows. I trim it to conform and make my eyes look nice and maintained and groomed.
What's your relationship with your body hair?
What?
This is the main focus of my thing.
I don't like it. I prefer to not have body hair. I really do get insecure of it sometimes because I'm just really not, I don't know. I think I like it and hate it at the same time. Like, I don't like having facial hair. I hate it. Body hair, I don't know. I don't know. It's like a love-hate relationship, I'd say.
When in a relationship, or just in general, would you want your partner's body hair to be like? Listen, I didn't have polling for this. I need to do it from scratch. They don't do scientific
If I'm
research.
being very specific, it doesn't really matter to me. If they have body hair, they have body hair. Like, that's just their natural growth, if that's embedded in their genes. And if they don't have it, then, like, that's fine. It's fine either way for me.
As a gay man, have you noticed anything that differs from the norm when people assume men would keep their body hair, or how they would keep it?
I feel like I have, yeah. I feel like it really does depend on, like, your standards, I'd say, because, again, there are some feminine guys out there who don't have body hair, and there are some with, and there are also some masculine with or without body hair as well. Yeah, I feel like I've noticed that a little bit, but at the same time, it's just like, it's, I don't know, just do whatever you gotta do, you know?
Have you noticed men/women of your age or not looking at you in a certain way or making comments directed towards you, primarily in like a body hair preference?
In terms of body hair preferences, no, but I have had people look at me in a way that made me feel very unsafe. I was getting my gas one time, and I was wearing a skirt because I was going on a fancy dinner date, and this man, I turned around and I found this man trying to look up my skirt and then quickly walking away. It definitely felt very violating, and I felt like I had to cleanse my insides after that happened. But in terms of body hair, the only person who has ever said anything about it, and it wasn't even like a form of criticism, it was more or less a form of, hey, just so you know, you need to shave your hair to keep clean. And it was my mother a long time ago. She didn't really she doesn't shame body hair, but she said that it was just another form to keep yourself clean, which scientifically isn't entirely true.
How old were you during the skirt incident?
I was 18. I think I was 18, so
okay.
It was this year.
What is your relationship with your body hair?
I personally like to keep it shaved because I like the feeling of shaved legs. I feel like it's a little less overstimulating even then, it's not that overstimulating. I just find, like, I wear a lot of feminine clothes and skirts, and I personally don't like how the way body hair looks with, like, stockings or shorts and stockings or something like that, or a thing like that. So I personally like to keep it trimmed. Same thing with armpit hair. I like to keep that trimmed as well.
When in a relationship or just in general, how would you want your partner's body hair to be like?
Personally, it's more of a matter of preference, but like if there's a point where I don't think it, like, it's necessary to keep it, like, growing. Like, I don't mind, like, beards and stuff, and like I don't really mind if, like, my partner I don't really mind if my partner refuses to shave. Just, like, once in a while is nice because it helps just, like, keep it clean, I think. But I personally, like, it's up to them. If I don't really think I have issues with people keeping their hair long. It's all a matter of preference.
Why do you think men aren't expected to shave as much as women?
I think it's a lot of stigma around women, because back in, like, the 50s, 70s, women were told that it's actually a very racial stereotype, because, like, having a lot of body hair was related to, like, primates, and, like, it was a very racially discriminating stereotype. So a lot of women were encouraged to, like, keep their body hair shaven, legs, armpits, even arms in some cases. And that's why it was, like, so pushed, because, like, they were basically saying, oh, if you don't shave your hair, you're gonna look like this. And nowadays it's like it's a big discussion on, like, whether hair should be shaved, and a lot of body shaming still happens, which is disappointing. I think a lot of it originated from the racial stereotypes of body hair, and, like, why and how, like, keeping hair off of you is keeping yourself clean, which is not true at all nowadays, and it wasn't true back then either, but people were conditioned to believing that it was.
The normalization of the unspoken stare in this first question has seeped into our lives, politics, and relationships. Polling of a study on pedophilia shows that more people are passive or downright supportive of this behavior than would initially be believed. If you don't believe me, go read Lolita by Vladimir Nabokov, then come back. So, where does this take us? Body hair isn't just a women's issue. It isn't even just a queer issue. It's a general propaganda issue.
Power and passion, spirit and substance. Inside every woman, there is a goddess waiting to be discovered. Discover her with Venus. Each Venus razor leaves skin so smooth and luminous, revealing a more beautiful you every time you shave. Venus, reveal the goddess in you.
Honestly, I've enjoyed making this documentary so much. I think this is actually going to be a series that I'm going to keep posting throughout my college career, because this is the main focus I want to have in my psychology degree. So keep a lookout for anything I may still post on social issues and sociology mixed with psychology and anthropology. Thank you. Okay. Have you She does this a lot. I was recording my alchemist video, and you could just hear, "Put the red on the green and make..." Yeah.